Hey guys, this is one of my runs on Act 3 Chapter 10.1 Imposed Destiny, and this run is both going to be a showcase of Minwu and his kit, plus an Auto Plus run. Well, I guess almost a full Auto Plus run. What I did is to manually do the first turn for Core and Minwu, mainly to link Core to Minwu on his first turn, and for Minwu to refresh the traps to 6 turns before he uses his BT+. Once that's done, right here, you can actually just toggle the Auto Plus on and just kick back and relax while you see how awesome and deadly the Core Minwu combo is. Since the rest of the fight from here on in is in Auto Plus mode, I'll just speed up the fight a little bit to make it go a little bit faster. Now this fight can actually easily be done in a full Auto Plus if that's really your cup of tea, and I do actually have some runs that I've recorded in full Auto Plus mode, including one of Core and Gladio duo, so I do know that it is definitely possible. But the reason why I chose this run out of all the other runs that I did, even though this is not a full Auto Plus run, is, well, firstly, this run really nicely showcases Minwu's kit, and I think that's going to be more interesting rather than a full Auto Plus run. And secondly, I guess most of the fight is still Auto Plus, it's just the first turn was done manually, and I think the compromise is worth it here. It is possible to do a full Auto Plus run from the start with Minwu, but to do so, you do need to give him all his speed passives, just so that he can get his second turn before the traps expire. The main issue with Minwu in a full Auto Plus run is that his traps at the start of the battle start with only 3 turns of duration, and if you start in Auto Plus, the AI will default to his BT Plus as his first attack, which leads to the enemies taking turn and reducing the trap duration by 2, so the traps will wear off pretty quickly. And in Minwu's kit, the only way to reapply his traps sadly is his S2, and he won't use that until he runs out of his LD users. So by taking the first turn manually and using the first turn to refresh the traps to 6 turns, once that is done and Minwu's BT plus aura is up, there's no way the traps will run out because Minwu's overhead will always reach 5 stacks and refresh the traps before that happens. The other reason why you want to manually do the first turn at least is so that you can also delay the use of Minwu's BT plus by 1 turn, and this 1 turn actually helps a lot in a full Auto Plus run because Minwu's BT plus aura duration is pretty short at 6 turns, and later on when he uses his FR being instant turn will also mean that it eats one of his precious BT plus turns as well. So going into BT plus on Minwu's second turn instead of first actually makes a big difference in an Auto Plus run here. I do feel bad because it's technically not a 100% full Auto Plus run, but I really like the compromise here. And when I watched through the video as the AI is taking me through the battle, the sheer power of Minwu's FR combined with Core really melts the bosses. And you'll see that soon. I'm about to hit 100% force gauge. Next up, a little bit about the party setup. In terms of passives, what you want to do across both characters is to remove all speed passives. And in case you're wondering which passives these are, it's pretty straightforward. Just go through the character passives and remove any of it that has the word speed in them, S-P-E-E-D, speed. Next up, if you have Core's FR, you do want to unequip Core's FR skill. Otherwise, in the Auto Plus run, you run the risk of the AI using Core's FR instead of Minwu's FR. Finally, you do want to unequip Minwu's S1 because if the AI uses it later on in the fight, it will delete the enemy's turns and you actually don't want that to happen. So I'm coming to Minwu's turn, he's about to activate his FR, and you see just how powerful Minwu's FR can be in the right setup. First up, it's pretty nice that Minwu starts his force bonus at 150%, same as Ares, I guess mainly because his FR doesn't do any Brave and HP damage. Brief description about Minwu's FR since it's a new weapon in the game. His FR conditional gives you plus 5% bonus anytime you do a holy attack, and this also includes any often holy attack that you do. Minwu actually enchants the entire party with holy element, which means that Core's preemptive strikes also count towards this 5%. Next up, if you do any follow-up attack, and this includes Core's preemptive strike or Minwu's traps or any counter-based character really, you also get another 5%. So that combined with the holy attack gives you 10% anytime you do a holy often damage attack. Now you might think that 10% seems pretty small, but it's really not, because if it's any higher than that, then Minwu is really going to be very broken, because you can see here that the bonuses racks up very quickly. Now why is that? Well, firstly, anytime the bosses act because of Minwu's BT aura, the holy trap will trigger twice, and that gives you a 20% increase. And when Core do a preemptive strike, it gives you plus 10%. And of course, sometimes when the boss targets the entire party, Core does 2 preemptive strikes for 20%. So for example, here in your typical 2 boss fight, when boss A takes a turn, Minwu's traps will plus 20%. When boss B takes a turn, Minwu's traps will plus 20%. And Core should at least plus 10% each for 60%. If Core does 2 preemptive strikes, that's another 10% each. Plus, because Minwu's FR is predominantly often based, and the fact that you've actually removed speed passives across your characters, you'll likely see scenarios where the bosses take multiple turns before your character gets a turn, such as in this case. In this fight as well, the bosses can buff themselves with plus 50% speed, so this also helps to contribute to them taking many turns before you get one turn. This means that in one round of attacks, so from one of your turns to your next turn after that, you'll see many boss turns, and each boss turn you get plus 20 to 40% increase in the force bonus from Core's preemptive strikes and Minwu's traps. And so by the time you get your next character turn, it's not uncommon to see the force bonus increase by more than 100%. You can see right here, I'm only at force turn 6, but I'm already at 650%, and the bosses are like really melting all the way down. Right here also, don't forget that when Minwu's overhead reaches 5 stacks, it will trigger another often attack, and that also increases the force bonus as well. So really, throughout the entire fight, you'll see plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10 very frequently on the force bonus gauge, and you'll see so many traps triggering that the boss's health really just melts down pretty quickly. I must say though that my characters are pretty optimally built, because both Core and Minwu do have 5/5 ultimate weapons. So depending on how much you have built going for them, your mileage can vary. But that being said, you should still very comfortably finish this fight within 1 force time. If you somehow find yourself at 1 force turn remaining and the bosses still aren't dead, all you have to do is actually just pop Brother's Summon, and Brother's Summon amplified by like 900% force bonus will end the bosses. Finally, one quick mention before the fight ends is that you do want to have force level 30 across both characters so that you can hit force time before the bosses. So that's it for this run. As always, I hope the video has been helpful, and if you enjoyed the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Shinryu fight. Bye!